Welcome to the Dark Ozarks. We're discussing the unique impact of rivers and river lore on the Ozarks. If the Ozarks are mountains and plateaus, how much did rivers mold the region?
The hills and hollers and plateaus here in the Ozarks are defined in many ways by the waterways that stretch through and around them. And the people here are still affected by the lore and traditions that grew up around the water.
We will get back to the rivers, but first we want to invite you to like, follow, and subscribe to Dark Ozarks on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as well as your favorite podcast platform. We also invite you to become a Dark Ozarks subscriber on Facebook. On the Dark Ozarks Facebook page, click subscribe, have your login information ready, and join Dark Ozarks behind the scenes for only $4.99 per month.
Your $4.99 per month subscription allows you to come with us on paranormal investigations, deep dive research, and topics too controversial for public view. The next 100 subscribers will be entered in a drawing for a free Dark Ozarks t-shirt and an exclusive signed first run copy of the book, Dark Ozarks, The Spooklight. Subscribe today to be entered in the drawing.
And now you can get Dark Ozarks t-shirts for sale at darkozarks.com and paranormalsciencelab.com.
Mark your calendars for State of the Ozarks Fest 23, Saturday, September 16th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in historic downtown Hollister, Missouri. Meet Dark Ozarks producers Lisa and Josh. Celebrate the traditional Ozarks with craftsmanship, history, and lore. Experience emerging culture through cosplay, goblins, regional cuisine, fine arts, and medieval combat, and even visit the very haunted Ye Olde English Inn. Visit stateoftheozarks.net for more information.
We encourage you to check out Always Buying Books in Joplin, Missouri, in person and online on Facebook and at the website alwaysbuyingbooks.com for all your reading needs, including a large section on the paranormal, history, and more. Not to mention, the building is haunted. Tell Bob and Elise that we sent you.
We also want to thank Beard Engine Brewing Company in Alba, Missouri. Beard Engine Brewing is the only English-style brewery in Missouri and has been twice named Missouri's best brewery by the Missouri Brewers Association. Great beer and great food in a historical building with a noir past. And yes, their building is also haunted. Tell Nate and Tiff that we sent you.
So rivers.
Something that might be unrealized about the Ozarks. First, we are a United States interior highland plateau. And second, the raised upland plateau that is the Ozarks is defined by waterways, not only through it, but as boundaries around it.
Yes. So, almost like a moat.
Agreed. Agreed. And certainly on the northern and southern boundaries to such a large degree of the Ozarks would be the Arkansas River on the south, the Missouri River on the north, the Mississippi River on the east, and then a series of creeks, rivers, and tributaries, especially Spring River.
Yeah.
On the west.
Yes. So and interior rivers as well.
Vastly. I think the Osage and the White River being, and the Current and the 11 Point.
Niagara.
And the Niagara and the Gasconade and the Merrimack.
And on and on and on.
Yeah. And it's interesting to note. So a number of these rivers, including White River, Spring River, Osage, certainly before impoundment, Buffalo River, which was never impounded, are very substantial rivers.
Mm-hmm.
They are not the Mississippi, obviously, but they are substantial rivers. And up until the coming of the railroads, the rivers were the highways.
They were modes of transportation, commerce, and flow of information and flow of people. And I think that a lot is owed to our received lore and culture because of the river life that went on. And we don't think about a rich, boat, almost maritime history in the middle of the United States, but we really did have it.
We did. And much further inland and much further into the highlands than you would imagine. The fact that there was a riverboat pilot who got steamboat as high as the confluence of the White River and the James is impressive, to say the least.
Yes, and we certainly don't think of steamboats on the rivers in southern Missouri, but they were in many places.
And you look,
Osceola being one.
Definitely, and we'll talk more in the longer version about Osceola and the burning of Osceola. But had the Civil War not occurred, it's very realistic that Osceola would be a huge city, a dominant Missouri city. And it was dominant at the time and quite wealthy for its era because of direct steamboat traffic to St. Louis and New Orleans.
Very much so. And a lot of lore and superstitions and traditions grew up around the rivers throughout the Ozarks.
And some of them, are very traditional in terms of how spirits are said to interact with water. And then some of them are near, if not completely, folkloric. You look at things like the very riverine, fantastic beast of the Gowrow,
right,
associated with caves. And then some are just very fascinating, but a bit confusing to parse out, like the White River Monster.
Very true. Very true. Plus just a lifestyle that grew up around the rivers that it has a different flavor than in the hills and hollers.
It does. And, you look at, for example, the River Scene Mansion on the very far northern boundaries of the Ozarks, just across the Missouri River. And then other mansions like it, the fact that you have these great homes that in some cases were actually even built to resemble steamboats.
That's true. And we will be delving into these issues in a lot more depth in the long video, which will be up later in the week. And in between, don't forget to check out upcoming events and merchandise at darkozarks.com and paranormalsciencelab.com. Thank you again to Always Buying Books and Beard Engine Brewing Company for helping to bring the Dark Ozarks to everyone.
On the next episode, we're going to be discussing witchcraft and the Ozarks. Catch the Dark Ozarks podcast on Branson Podcast Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or about any other podcast platform. Thank you, everyone. And remember, there are no easy answers,